Today we will start the new chapter that is architecture, painting and music. Between 800 CE and 1700 CE, new trends emerged in art and architecture. As a result, this period witnessed tremendous building activities and produced a large number of splendid structures in different architectural styles. So between 800 CE and 1700 CE, new type of art and architecture has emerged, and due to which huge amount of buildings have been made, okay, and each buildings are different from each other, and they are made in different architectural style. The construction of monuments was not only a matter of art and aesthetics but also an expression of imperial power. So the construction of these monuments, it not only shows the art and the culture during the period, but it also shows that how much the empire was powerful. The beautification of the capital cities and patronage given to cultural, artistic and literary activities in these cities brought fame to the rulers and their kingdom. So the you can say the design of these architectures, that is the capital cities of the empire and the areas and the cultural which the empire, the different empires follow, okay, the different types of artistic and literary activities which were made in these cities by the different kingdoms, it bring the fame of the ruler, okay, and the establishment of the kingdom. Grand monuments were regarded as testimonies to the power and wealth of the emperor. So, the different types of monuments and the different types of buildings, it shows the power and the how much money the emperor have. The various historical monuments were broadly classified into religious monuments and secular monuments. So the different types of historical monuments, they are divided into two parts. One is religious monument and the other is secular monuments. Religious monuments were built for religious purpose. So the religious buildings which were made during uh, the many emperor period, they were used for religious purposes, such as monuments include temples, mosque and mausoleum. So these are the example of religious monuments. Secular monuments were built for purpose other than religion. Such monuments included fort, palaces, gardens, gateways, capital cities. So these are the examples of secular monuments, okay. Monuments could also be classified according to their function. So the different types of buildings, they were also classified according to the functions which they were used, just like fort, palaces, garden, residence and tombs were usually private, safe and protected place of rest or residence. So the fort, the palaces, the gardens, the tombs, they are used for the and private use, that means by the emperor and his families, and they were safe and protected from the rest of the local areas. In contrast, temples, mosques, tanks, well, gateways, caravan, sarais were place meant for public activity. So these are the different types of monuments which were made in order for the public activity, that means where public can use it. First is architecture, temple architecture. Temples were the sites or structures of spiritual significance where images of deities were kept and worshipped. So the temples were a site of, you can say, structures which were used for spiritual significance. That means for worshipping the gods. Okay, that is the images of deities were kept and worshipped in the temples. These were constructed in large number in medieval India. So in the medieval India, huge amount of temple architectures have been seen. Besides serving as place of worship, temples also acted as centers of performing arts, particularly dance and music. So, not only these you can say monuments were made only for the worship, but they were also used as a center of arts, especially for dance and music. They encourage the recording, learning, and narrating of history and served as centers for passing knowledge from one generation to another. So temples also plays an important role where they used to record, learn, and narrate their histories. Okay, and it also serve as a centers where they used to pass the knowledge from one generation to another generation. They were also used at times for storage of grains and even as a treasury in kingdom. So temples, they were also used for the places where the grains were storage for the future use and even as a treasury in kingdom. That means you in the temples expensive items were kept so that they can say keep safe the these treasury or khazana of the kingdom. The temples demonstrated the power, wealth, and devotion of the patron king's concern for the religious welfare of his subjects. So the temples demonstrate the power, the wealth, that means money, and devotion, that means how much they devote their life for the king's person, and they also do and temples also plays an important role for the religious welfare of the king. Temple architecture during this period may be classified into three forms depending on the region where they were built. So the temples were the temple architectures, that means the structure in which the temples are designed, they are also classified into three forms depending on where they are built. Okay, that is the Nagara or the North Indian style. That means the especially in the North Indian where where the temples are made, they are called Nagara style of architecture. The Dravida or the South Indian style, that means the temples which are built in the South India, they are known as Dravida style of architecture, and the Vasera, which was a hybrid style developed in the Deccan. So, the third form of the architecture, that is the temple architecture, is the Vasera, which is the mixture of Nagara and Dravida, and it is developed in the Deccan areas of the of India.